For years, Diana was my sole handler at the agency. She supplied information and secrecy, and I sold perfection. We had trust. Then last August 10th, Diana brought the agency to its knees. She flushed all accounts, cut off all communication lines, exposed the agents, and used the confusion to vanish. Now the reformed agency has finally tracked her down and offered me the contract. One day, I will think of this as just another job. After all, this is what I do.
Listen to me. I need you to be brave. A man will come and take you away. I cannot go with you. This is how it has to be. This man is different. He will protect you. Please don't judge him for what he might do. I'm sorry. Maybe someday you will understand.
"47. This is Benjamin Travis. The money has been wired to your account. Welcome to Chicago. I appreciate you taking this assignment, 47. It is never easy targeting our own, but Diana Burnwood's treason must be dealt with. I would send in one of the teams, but this is a job for a scalpel, not a hammer."
Reasons are irrelevant.
Exactly. Good luck, 47.
Sir. Yeah, it's an ice cream truck. Yeah, I know. I'll get rid of him. Hey, get out of here. We don't want anything.
What about your partner?
What partner?
During this assignment, key game elements.
Hello to all my dingleberries. Today is November the 21st, 2012. Yesterday saw the release of the new stealth game by IO Interactive called Hitman Absolution. As previously mentioned, this is a third-person stealth game. Again, it is developed by IO Interactive, and it was published by Square Enix. This is actually the 5th game in the Hitman game series. I didn't actually know that they had that many games in the series. And it's running on the IO Interactive's their new innovative Glacier 2 game engine.
You were about
So the game is basically all about stealth. What it's all about is you want to make sure you stay hidden at all times, and it allows you to also have an instinct mode, which allow you to predict enemy routes. And it's also like, if you guys ever played like Splinter Cell Conviction, they had the sonar vision that you could see through walls, see where enemy locations are, and also predict the routes. So this game features a very similar feature to that. So like Black Ops 2, this game was an impulse buy. Originally I wasn't going to get it, but I decided to get it kind of like an impulse thing. I had the money, so I figured, hell, why not? So in the game you basically control Agent 47, playing on different various levels throughout the game, different environments, and your object is to you're a hitman, so you have to you have a contract, you have to reach a target, kill the target, and you need to do so in the most quietest way possible. You're given several different weapons and gadgets throughout the game to help you accomplish your tasks as quiet as possible. When you start out the game, you start out just with a fiber wire, which is used to silently kill an enemy, and it also allows you to drag the enemy as soon as you kill him. And you're also given a silenced pistol, which you can also dual wield if you want, but I always would just use single. It's easier to aim that way. So as I already mentioned, stealth is the key to the game. When you use the fiber wire to subdue an enemy, as I said, it does take the enemy down and allows you to drag them. You would use this drag feature to hide the body. Generally hiding it away from enemies isn't really going to do the trick, because a lot of times they do go on patrol. So you want to actually hide the enemies in a dumpster. If you're up in a building, you can usually throw them out the window. There's lots of places to hide enemies. They give you lots of places. Some places there's like a bathtub, you can actually hide them in the water and stuff like that. So it is pretty cool. You want to keep them hidden so that other enemies that are on patrol that are still alive don't go and notice the body, and they'll just set off the alarm, and then everything just goes haywire from there. So throughout the game you will unlock other weapons too, like sniper rifles, different suppressed weapons, and you also have access to different weapons throughout the game as well. Like you find weapons throughout the maps, like the enemies drop, so you'll find knives or katanas and stuff like that. So you know, most of the weapons you get though will be from unlocks. Just unlocking them throughout the game, like you get points for the way you play the game, and you can use those unlock points to unlock different things. So as I previously mentioned, stealth games don't really do it for me. Not really my thing. I respect a lot of people that can play them, because it does take a lot of patience, and I'm not a very patient person. However, I have to say that this game was actually really good. Even though it was, you know, it's a stealth game, it's still action-packed, because there's always something to do. You're always on the lookout. And it was one of those games that I found you're always on alert. You're always like, my heart was beating fast the whole time, because it's a high tense situation, because you're trying to be stealthy and there's enemies all around you. So I thought it was actually pretty cool and different from the other stealth games like Deus Ex, where you want to be stealthy, but you know, generally it's not too hard to be stealthy. You know, and there's lots of different areas where there's no enemies at all, and the enemies are pretty well spaced out. This one, it's like the sections are all full of enemies for the most part, from what I saw. So there are different ways to take down enemies in this game. Of course, you can use the fiber wire and you can suffocate them. You can shoot them. Generally, you want to go for the headshot. Another way that I didn't know at first, but I have recently learned since this video, is you can subdue them. So you sneak up behind them and just choke them out. I don't know for sure if that kills them or not, or just kind of like knocks them unconscious, so you can steal their shit. Because like in this one you have to get a key card. I think if you subdue him, you can take his key card without killing him, and you don't lose the points for killing somebody that you don't need to kill. So I'm not going to get too much into spoilers here, but I'm going to let you know what's going on here. This level is a prologue, so it's just kind of the beginning to introduce you to the story. It does follow in the series, so each game in the series continues the story. This is just a continuation of the story. So it's really hard for me to tell you what happened before, because I never played the previous Hitman games. I played one way back on PS1, but again, Hitman was never really my style of game, so I never really got into it. I was more into like the Battlefield, obviously. Back in those days on the PS1, I was more into the RPGs, so I played a lot of Final Fantasy VII and stuff like that. So I wasn't really big into the shooters at that point in time. But I will tell you, in this prologue, Agent 47 has been sent. His assignment was to go and kill Diana, who apparently was featured in the previous games. I think she worked for the ICA. I feel like an idiot because I really don't know anything about the past games. She found incriminating evidence against the ICA, and so she betrayed the company, and Agent 47 has been sent to kill her. Like the Deus Ex games and Dishonored, among other stealthy games like that, I do like the fact that they give you different ways to approach different levels, and they give you a chance to kind of plan it out with the instinct mode. You can, if you want, you can run in. If you have a quick shot, you can actually shoot everybody really quick, and that'll end that area really fast. Generally, you're not going to get good points for that, though. They want you to be stealthy, so you can try and sneak up on everyone and kill them quietly. Or if you're really good, you can sneak by them. The game does find other ways for you to get around enemies. One way is distractions. You can pick up random objects around the map and throw them in the general direction of the enemies that you need to sneak by, or around their area at different objects, and that will distract them and allow you a chance to sneak by. Another way you can get by enemies is using the disguise. If you kill an enemy, you can use his outfit, and that'll help you sneak around too. Again, they will be a little bit alerted, so you'll need to use some instinct to help yourself blend in a little bit better, but again, they will grow suspicious, so you do want to sneak by them as quickly as you can. A common question I'm going to get on this game is frames per second. The game does look really good. I have everything maxed out. I ran a benchmark test which comes in the game, which is pretty cool. I got about 62 frames per second with everything running. With recording, I don't really know. I set the fraps to limit recording at 40 frames a second just to keep the file size in check. Otherwise, it comes out to be like a 200 gigabyte size file, and that's ridiculous. I'm actually considering for future videos, especially the long ones, to actually just upload in 720p as opposed to 1080p. I think a lot of people don't watch videos in 1080p. Anyway, 720p loads pretty quick and it is high quality. 1080p I find loads a lot slower, and also it would save a lot on the file size, so it would allow me to record more, upload more, and save more on the computer, so I could give you guys more content. If you guys do want to stick to 1080p, that's fine. Let me know. Leave me a comment leave me a comment below. So graphically, the game does look really good. It is one of the better looking PC games I've seen. They're able to do that. You know, they don't have big, huge open maps like Skyrim and Fallout and stuff like that. So the maps are relatively small, and there's different loading screens, so it's not like it's one giant, you know, when you play like this level, it's not all one giant map. There are different screens with loading screens, so they are able to put better looking quality content in each one. The game does look really good, and I do like that when they talk, it actually looks like they're saying the words, and everything is in sync. Generally with new releases, it is common to see glitches, some graphical glitches or gameplay glitches, just as they're patching things up. I was pretty pleased to see that there was no glitches. There was no graphical errors or anything like that. Everything looked pretty solid. The gameplay was definitely pretty solid, but much like the Call of Duty game when I did my first impression of that, I basically loaded up this game, checked out the settings, and I jumped in. I didn't hit record. I didn't pre-play the game to get a feel for it and then let you guys know, you know, but when I do play the game, you can kind of tell I kind of flow through it pretty easy. The reason for that is I went on YouTube earlier today, or actually yesterday when I bought the game. I was trying to figure out if I wanted the game, and I watched some gameplay videos, so I watched the prologue level, so I kind of had an idea of what was going on. I kind of approached it a different way than the guy did in the video I watched him do it. He killed pretty much everybody, whereas I tried to find a way to bypass as much as I could. With this being the so-called prologue, they don't put much emphasis on gameplay in the prologue. It's kind of just like a tutorial level to teach you how to play the game, the controls, the various things you can do. So you don't actually start to getting to a point where you earn points for, you know, doing things stealthy and whatever until later on in the prologue near the end. So really the object in the prologue is just to get to the end and learn how to play the game. So the game actually got some pretty shaky reviews from what I saw. It was a pretty broad spectrum. There were some websites that gave it kind of like a 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. I see a 6 out of 10. And then there was other ones that gave it like a 7 out of 10, 7.5, 8. There's a 9 out of 10, 9.5. It's hard for me to really attack or defend those ratings. I didn't really look too far into them, but from what I see, it looks like a lot of the reason for the review is because they're saying that they kind of sold out in making this game and kind of went from what the series used to be, and I guess it's a lot different to what it is now, kind of like more mainstream. And yeah, a lot of the features that were in the other ones, I guess, weren't in this one. I really don't know. I guess in defense of those arguments, I can say that it does kind of disappoint to have a game be so good for so long, and then to all of a sudden change everything and then, you know, you kind of feel like they sold out. Maybe went the more popular way to sell more copies and whatnot. But then at the same time, in defense of the Hitman game and the higher ratings, the changes they made, I don't really know because I didn't play the older games, but I can tell you that no matter what, that shouldn't really sway you from making your opinion on the game. It is a very good game, very enjoyable. I had a lot of fun, and that's saying a lot because stealth games normally aren't my forte. So I don't think you should really say, oh, I'm not going to play this game because it's not like the other ones. Change is always a good thing as long as it's good changes. And I don't see anything wrong with this game. It may not be like the other ones, but it is still a very good game. So I think you guys just need to get your head out of your ass, and if you like the other ones, whether you did or didn't, if you want a good stealth game, this is a good game to check out. So as I did mention in the previous clips there, the game does feature an instinct mode. What this instinct mode does is basically when you're in game, if you hold down the left control button, the console versions have their own button too. You hold down the button and the world turns to like a darkish color, dark blue, black color, and then the enemies are shown in yellow. You can actually see them through walls, and you can see them, you know, through different objects and everything. The instinct mode also does have it does show the different collectibles on the map. You have evidence tapes that you collect as that's the collectible in the game. It does also show different things like the random objects that I mentioned previously that you can use to throw and distract your enemies. It also picks up different weapons on the map that you don't have, and it also picks up disguises. So if you're in a hunt and you're looking for things, instinct mode is always where to go. You use instinct by just activating it and doing other different things with it. And you gain it back by killing enemies quietly and completing tasks. All this really does is just allow you to kind of plan your next move. It's kind of like a chess game. You want to kind of scout ahead, see what's going on, then you can plan your next move because you do want to be stealthy. And then, you know, it also does show each person's path if you hold it long enough, so you can kind of see where they're going, where they're going to go, but it doesn't actually kick in until they start walking. So if they're standing still, you can't see where they're going to go, but once they start walking, the game will notify you where their intended location is. A lot of people, myself included, could see this as a bit of a cheap thing. As you go up in difficulty, if it's like any other games like this, you probably won't be able to see where the enemies are going. You'll probably be able to see where they're at, but not where their intended locations are. I'm playing this game on normal difficulty just to get a feel for the game, so that's why I'm able to see the paths in this game. There is a lot more to talk about in this game, but I don't want to ruin it for you guys. I want to kind of, you know, give you guys an overview of what you're going to expect when you get into the game, and I feel like I may have done that. If you guys had any questions, you know, I am welcoming you to ask them in the comments below. But generally, I think it kind of gave you a good overview of the game. Hopefully you've watched it all up to this point. It is a long video, so if so, then good for you. You're a trooper. So Hitman Absolution is definitely a stealth game that I originally didn't think I was going to like, but I bought anyways out of impulse. Turns out I love the game. It's actually already becoming one of my favorite games. So I am going to keep playing the game. If you guys are still watching and you guys want to see more, maybe you want to see a bit of a walkthrough or continuous gameplay with some live commentary, let me know. Otherwise, I'm not going to upload a whole lot of content unless it's requested of me. So if you guys enjoy it and you want to see more, I have no problem recording all my gameplay. You know, I'll play each level different ways so I can record them with live commentary, with or without. So if you guys enjoy the video and you want to see more, let me know. We're coming up on a cutscene here, so I'm going to let the cutscene play out, and I'll talk to you after.
When you pull the trigger. 47? Report, 47.
I should kill you. Why did you do this?
47! God damn it, what's wrong with this thing?
We all have our limits. Even you, 47. We used to have honor.
Diana,
No. I had to take her away from the doctors. I knew you would understand.
Fuck. Something's not right.
You won't last long.
There's no time.
You still have a chance.
In my robe. A letter. Now go. Take the girl and run. Before Travis finds out. Please. Do not let her turn into you. Promise me.
I promise.
Running is noisy and makes it easier for your enemies to spot you.
One of my favorite things about this game is the part that's coming up here. This is the last part that you can actually play before the final cutscene. The feature that they last show you is called the point shooting. What it allows you to do is you go into cover with enemies around, you press and hold control, which is your instinct mode, and then press Q on the computer, on the keyboard, and that basically allows you to pop up, and then in slow motion you can actually aim and shoot at 4 or 5, I don't know what the limit for targets is, I think it's based on instinct, and so you pop up in time freezes, so you designate each target, and then you press Q again, and then it goes bang, 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 and you shoot all 4 targets. They all fall in the cutscene mode. It does look really awesome. It is a cool feature. So I really enjoyed it, and I hope you guys enjoy it too. Well, that's pretty much going to do it for me, Dingleberries. I apologize for the long video and a lot of talking. I also apologize, it's kind of like a monotone video. My confidence has gone up since my first videos, but I am battling a bit of a cold, so it's hard for me to be really enthusiastic. But I hope I gave you guys a good overview of the game, and I hope I persuade you guys to go and to purchase it. The final cutscene is coming up here, and but if you guys have any comments, anything you want to say, just want to say hi, leave it below. I appreciate it if you guys leave a like to show support for my work, and also if you don't mind hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already. We're at 103 subscribers, so when we get to 250 we're going to give away a free game, so if you haven't already subscribed,
You know who
please do. Otherwise, this will be Mr. Dingle signing off, guys. Peace.
She's dead, isn't she?
Come on, stay close to me.
Where are we going?
Get in. It's done.
Excellent work, 47. Bring the girl to the extraction point.
What are you doing?
Why did the agency want you?
I don't know. I guess I might have...
Diana did this for you. Why?
Please, she was my only friend. She took me away from the doctors.
Tell me about the doctors.
It's really blurry. Like, a really bad dream. Why?
We need to go.
Sir, there's nobody here. I think the asset has gone AWOL.
God damn it! I was afraid he couldn't do it. I want every agent on this. You hear me, Jade? Locate 47 before he slips between the cracks.